Day 4 is normally when the kids straggle in super late. So pretend these markings are black and white. So what you're going to do is have some this type of butcher paper, and have several of them depending on the size of your class, probably enough for 4 or 5. And what we recommend you doing is go ahead and get some animals traced out, unless you're a good artist like our lizard and cat here. I'm not, mine's a sad bear. But make these black and white. And so kids are coming in, it's meant to be a quiet activity, so these are for your younger bunch. So as they're walking in, assign some kids to take on some of these butcher paper, and then so I need 3 happy students that are coming in. 3? Anyone? Okay, happy, somewhat tired students? Yay! All right, so, hi, I'm so glad you're back. Okay, so as your students are coming in, you grab a marker, and so we're going to have these put up everywhere, around the floor, whichever works best for you. And so you guys will get to draw on here. And so, like I said, it's going to have different types of animals or whatever, like maybe to do with creation. And really, the whole point of this is that you've already had your students for 4 days, and so now you're getting to know them. And so you can talk. So, Mark, are you having fun? That's
I am
good
having
job.
fun, thank you.
How was your game yesterday?
Great, very good.
Really? Great. Things like that. And so you've also already had the salvation presentation by this point. So it's a good time just to kind of see how they're doing. Kelly, that's such a good job. You know, of course, you're more your first graders, not your older ones. And so we're talking about here, the premises is that they're adding color to this. And so, okay, so that's good. So now we're done. Good job, guys. I need my paper back. Kelly's going to finish. So this is the quiet activity. So as the kids are trickling in, start having them take care of this poster part. So what you're going to do is you're going to show them. It's like, hey, you know, when you guys came in, it was just black and white, right? But yeah. Well, when you guys started coloring it, you started changing and adding it. So would you say that's a good addition? So you can at this point talk about, hey, that's a really great, look how Kelly used the blue, or look at that. Now, you could have a student that decides to, I don't want to do it, and rip it, or you can rip it. It's like, is that a good change or a bad change? That's a bad change. Well, you know what? When you become a Christian, that's the kind of choices you have to make. Or you can make a good choice, like adding some color in here, or you can make a bad choice, like a sin, by ripping it up. And then the way you're going to take this home, put that down here, is we're talking about how God has a plan for us, and that He wants us to make right choices, not wants us to make the right choice and not the bad choice. Bad choice being ripping on it, stepping on it, taking another kid's marker, or making a good choice by helping each other out and adding the color in there. So again, this will be like your intro activity, and then this will lead into your leader devotion. Any questions? No? Good.
Good job, Linda.
Okay, activity 2 is everybody can participate with me. You're going to get the kids to look at you for 30 seconds and see what you're wearing. Everyone?
Today, Kelly's modeling.
Yeah?
Jeans,
All right. Then
necklace.
I'm going to tell everybody to put their heads down and close their eyes. Don't peek. And then I'm going to change something. Okay, open your eyes.
What happened to Kelly?
What did I change?
Put glasses on.
Good job. Okay, everyone put their heads down.
Okay.
Okay, open your eyes. Okay, what did I change?
Put a hat on.
Okay, put your heads down. Okay, put your heads up. What did I change?
You don't have a watch on.
Ooh.
Change your teeth. Oh, you didn't change.
So make the connection is that God changes things about us. He takes away sin in our lives, or we should act differently whenever we become Christians. And He also adds things to our lives like love, joy, peace, patience, and those are the hat and the sunglasses.
Great job. Nice eyes, Kelly.
All right, boys and girls. This is an activity. It's called Terrific Trades. Today's main point was God changes me. And so what you're each going to do is receive an empty word. Oh my goodness. Miss Sherry, can you tell us what your word is?
Disobey parents.
Now, if you're with little ones that can't quite read, you can absolutely go and read that for them. Tyler, will you tell us what your empty word is?
Sadness.
Miss Angel, can you tell us what your word is?
Selfish.
Oh my word. Miss Belinda, can you tell us what your empty word is?
Greedy.
Jace, can you tell us what your mean word is?
Mean actions.
Oh my goodness. Caleb, can you tell us what your word, empty word is?
Mean words.
Mean words. Okay, here's how this activity goes. There are words that are full of things. See, we have empty words right now. And before our lives and before God changes our hearts, takes out our sin, puts us and gives us a new life, we have empty things, like all of those that we just described. You have to exchange your empty words for your full words. The first team that goes and finds these empty words, sits down and trades their words, will win. Now I have just a suggestion as well. We cannot run, we cannot push, we cannot shove. If you have a smaller classroom, you can have them pretend they're doing slow motion relay. If it is a little bit bigger room, maybe you can have them walk fast or hop on one foot, something if you're concerned about running, pushing, shoving. But the main point is you want them to exchange these words out, because the concept is we're born with sin. When we give our lives to Jesus, he creates something new and he changes us. So let's go. I'm going to need help with the countdown. 3, 2, 1,
Go,
go.
fast, go,
Go!
go.
Sherry, go!
Go, run it, Caleb. Thank you for Thank you for walking. Oh, Caleb, that was wonderful. Okay, quickly, we can do this. Oh, we don't have to. Oh, my word. Oh, no, do we not have to? Oh, my goodness, Miss Angela.
Use nice words, Miss Amy. Use nice words.
These are all mean. Oh, I couldn't read that.
You just put it down. And that may happen, and this is a great opportunity. Boys and girls, we were supposed to sit down when we were done.
No!
And so this team won. And the main point is, as we give our hearts and our lives to Jesus, when we ask him to be the boss of our lives, he takes away those things and he helps us so that we will choose to follow God's way and not do it our way.
Great job. Very good.
All right, now this activity is a little bit more active, okay? This is gonna burn some energy, so I'm gonna need 6 volunteers who aren't afraid to do a little bit of sprinting. No, just 6 volunteers who aren't afraid to move a little bit.
Everybody's tired.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's good. We'll do 5. Plus 1 more, someone else get up.
Go, Landon.
Lando.
All right, you guys can backdrop me right now. All right, now this is called morph tag, and the idea of this is that morph is short for metamorphosis, okay? And we're just gonna be dealing with change. Now I need one person. I'm gonna pick Nate. Come forward. You're gonna be called the bad morph, okay? Now this,
It's because of the beard.
it's because of the beard. All right, and now the bad morph, we're playing a game of tag. Anytime he tags somebody, something bad morphing will happen to them, so they will change in a negative way, okay? So in order to do this, we need a good morph as well. So Lando, sure. Okay, come forward.
Less
All
of a
right.
beard.
Yes, clean shave. All right, now Landon's gonna be our good morph, okay? So basically what happens, whenever Nate will tag somebody as the bad morph, they will change in a negative way. So this is a game of tag. There will be running. If you're in a smaller room, you might want to tell them to skip, something like that, to where they're not gonna be running and jumping in a wall, something that's a little bit slower, okay? So anytime that bad morph tags somebody, all right, something negative will happen. The first time you tag somebody, they will walk backwards, all right? Ooh. All right, the second time you tag somebody, they will crab walk on the ground, okay? So, first time you're tagged, walk backwards. Second time, crab walk. Now, good morph right here, Lando, every time he tags somebody, his goal is to keep people from changing negatively, okay? So if someone is walking backwards and he tags them, they can go back to running or skipping, whatever your room allows. Now, if they're crawling or crab walking and he tags them, then they can go back to walking backwards, and so on and so forth until they're back to normal, okay? The goal of this game is obviously to not get tagged by the bad morph, and the goal for the good morph is to change any of the bad morphs, all right? So we are going to begin. Go ahead and stand right here, Lando. Nate, stand over there. Oh, they touch you. Ooh. Ooh, good morph and bad morph just stay away from each other. Now, if the bad morph tags you, no, just. Now, if the bad morph touches you 3 times, so that means you've walked backwards and you've crab walked, and then you get tagged again, you have to sit out, and you are unable to be tagged by the good morph. Okay, and that's how this game eventually ends, is when everyone is tagged, or the game just goes on too long, and you cut it off. Okay, so we're gonna start it out.
If they're crab walking,
They're crab
and I
walking.
touch them once, they walk back.
They go back to walking backwards.
Okay,
Exactly.
how do I get them to walk forward?
To walk
You gotta
forward, you have to
touch
tag
them
them again.
You just touch everybody.
And you
Double
cannot double tag, I think.
So I have to like.
another person in between.
Okay.
Yes,
Is that in there?
it's in there. Now.
No.
All right, so we're gonna start this off. There's your good morph, there's your bad morph. 3, 2, 1, go!
I was touching the good morph. How can I go?
No!
Are you okay? Are you sure?
I'm fine.
This is the bad time you
Hey,
pulled.
did you get that on video? That's the key.
Out.
Out.
Hey, thank you. I thought you were supposed to skip and not run.
8, 7, 6,
I'm
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, game time, game time. All right, good job. You guys can head back to your seats. Awesome job. Awesome job. Okay.
Yes. I'm not entirely sure. So if they're going backwards and then the good morph tags them and then they start going forward again and then the bad morph tags them again, do they then go to walking backwards or then they jump all the way
Yes.
to crab walking?
So it just goes from if they're walking forward, they get tagged backwards. All right. If they get tagged again when they're walking backwards by the bad morph, these are all bad morph things. If they get tagged again, they go into crab walk. It's also can be done to where they go.
Everybody that went out had actually been tagged by the good morph, and then basically each time Nathan tagged them, they kind of reset themselves. So like Michael, for example, he got tagged by Nathan, started walking backwards. Landon tagged him, but then Nathan tagged him again, so then he went to crab walk. But technically, he should have gone back to just.
Yep. It resets after you're touched. So you
Tagged
don't.
3 times.
But it has to be
But the
3
good morph
consecutive
tags
times.
consecutive.
Yes, they must be consecutive tags. Must be consecutive tags. I
But
didn't make that
that's
clear.
almost, other than Jace, everybody else did it the wrong way. Other than Jace, everybody else was getting tagged by Landon, but they were jumping over and going, and that's why they all ended up out except for Jace.
Yes, so it must be consecutive tags. So you must be tagged consecutive times. If you are tagged by the good morph between, you just go to that first stage of the bad morph's tagging before you go all the way to the final stage. So 3 times total is not the goal. 3 times consecutively is when you are out. My bad. All right.
It's not your bad. I think we just need to come up with more clear, concise instructions, because it's.
Explain what it says on there though,
Okay.
because we switched it up for different movements because the original instructions are to
Go
go
up the
down
first
on
time you
your
get tagged,
knees
go
and
on your
run on your
knees.
knees on the carpet. We're gonna have torn up bloody kneecaps with shorts on carpet. And then go
The
to
second
a,
was to go to a crawl, and the crawl could be done, but kids might be tripping over another. I mean, which is also a thing if they're crab walking as well. So
Jumping is a good option.
We could jump, or one of the things we discussed was jumping like a frog, acting like a frog instead, because that's gonna get you down low and help you move slower. Would it be better to have just one bad change instead of 2 levels of change?
maybe
Would that
just
be
one
an easier
level.
game?
I think it'd be easier with the instructions, because going through all this with the class, there was way too much. I think you're gonna lose them, but I think making it just one change and then you're out.
Okay,
because-
so
Actually
one
probably reach a
change,
result
yes.
at the end of the game too, rather than just ongoing.
Yeah, I don't think, because the difficulty is people are going towards Landon and away from Nathan. So I think if you had 3 levels, I think it's gonna be almost impossible for the bad guy to ever beat the game. I think if you do one change, it makes it far easier.
I mean, Tyler had a point, because at first I said frog jump, and he goes, well, do we
Oh.
wanna talk about metamorphosis and animals?
yeah,
Are we
so
gonna
you
bring
went
up
to a frog, and
evolution?
then you go to something else, and then it was just the idea of like, evolution of the animals.
no, I think if you just make one change, it should be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry. If you just make one change, it should be fine. I can rewrite that, and it can make the same point. One thing we could do is not like only release good morph for a couple of seconds. So like good morph has to stand back and wait for a couple seconds and then go, and then good morph gets pulled back. That way bad morph has a chance. We could
Maybe
do
you could
that if
have-
we want.
Play music, like for 10 seconds, or the good morph one can come out when the music's on, then stop.
I just think that's all making it more confusing.
Yeah.
What if your
Okay,
first
just
stage
have 'em
is
both.
something stationary? Like you jump in place. So you can't
Well,
be
you
moving
freeze.
around. Does that make sense? And
But
then you
then-
become.
But then there's a freeze. Yeah, that's what there was a freeze tag game just earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Well, if you do it just one change, I think it's okay. I think it's okay that everybody runs toward the good morph. That's the point.
Right.
Is you have to be running towards someone who's going to make good changes in your life. You know, so if we just make one bad and just do the frog jumping so nobody gets killed,
Yep.
we can do that. Yeah?
Frog jumping, or you just do jumping on one foot?
Yeah,
I think if you go
Okay.
down and kids are running around, they can get knocked over and get hurt. I think jumping up and down is probably better.
Okay.
Everybody stays the same height.
Belinda took the.
Did you get that on video?
Nathan's like, no, down. Get everyone
So,
Sound effects?
also don't put butcher paper on the ground. Playing this game.
All right. To make the connection, anytime someone was tagged, they morphed, okay? Every time someone was tagged, they morphed into a different kind of player. Now, when you were tagged by the bad morph, was that a good change or a bad change?
Bad change.
Exactly. Why?
Hurt you.
Yeah, something bad happened, okay? It made the game harder. It did, okay? Now, when you're tagged by the good morph, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing.
It was a good thing, all right? Now, a lot of things try to change us in this world. Jesus wants us to change for the best, okay? Just like the good morph changed us. We can let Jesus change us by spending time close to him in prayer. We can let him change us by listening to him when we read the Bible and when we do things that he says.